Hello everybody. So this is an introduction video on our journey. So we are going to be doing in-person meetups or satsangas where we will be sharing the path of hollow bones. And part of this is also the Eclipse movement, which is the Alliance of Law movement to bring back common law to the earth. And so this is an introduction to what this is about. So economic egalitarianism is part of this, which is to do with the Alliance of Law movement and common law and bringing this back across the earth and clearing away legal name fraud and usury and common law trespass once and for all time, and bringing back currency to be directed from perception, from within we who can perceive who is living. So taking that out of a fictional private corporation as it has been and putting it back inside we the people, the living people with a central organized nervous system, so that we can be directing this currency from perception as constitutional currency. And so this is the Alliance of Law movement and the Eclipse movement as part of this overall path of hollow bones. So as part of our mission, we are gathering a family and searching for a space so that we can create a really beautiful lifehouse sustainable community. And so if we can have a really good like-minded family and we can share all of these teachings, then our teacher Happy Face has said that he will come and actually help us to create this Lifehouse sustainable community, building Lifehouse and helping to educate all on this path of hollow bones. So to give a brief summary of what's included in this path, one thing is Lifehouse sustainable community. And so this is Lifehouse, which is houses that are integrated into nature, incorporated materials that are where we are in nature, created from the earth, that will naturally recycle themselves back to nature in due course of time. And so it's just an amazing design where you're creating thermal bridges and banks and things like this to store energy away, store heat for the winter and store cool for the more warmer summer months and things like this, and to keep the house free from any mold. It's just a really incredible design that we can go into more deeply in more videos specifically on the Lifehouse sustainable community. And also life food agrarianism, which is incorporating life food, which is our ancient diet, ancestral diet, which is what humans have biologically evolved to be able to handle and digest and process, and what we actually have DNA to process and handle. So this includes mostly fruit, being defined in botany as the watery fruiting body of a flower. So for example, a cauliflower is actually a fruit of a grass, and so is a broccoli. Things that people might think is a vegetable like zucchini, cucumber, avocado, nuts and seeds, these are actually fruiting bodies of a flower, and so in botany are actually technically defined as a fruit. And a human being in somatotyping, which is the study of how our organs, our teeth, the length of our intestinal tract, how our physiology actually shows what we've evolved to actually consume. Shows that a human is a frugivore. So we have hands for picking fruits rather than claws and sharp things. Our natural feeling when we pick up a fruit off the ground is just natural. However, we wouldn't, other than really have a natural feeling, to jump on a cow and bite it and that kind of thing. And also our teeth and the length of our intestinal tract, the fact that we have a ribbed intestinal tract called a canula, the pH of the stomach and the pH of the intestinal tract, and all these things perfectly for a human fits into a frugivore. And so this is life food and life food nutrition, and also colloidal biology helps to sort of note all of these observations, including what's called as pleomorphism, which we can go into in further videos as well, and also blood formation, how blood is formed in the intestinal tract. And so a lot of this teaching will actually dispel a lot of the paradigm paralysis that has been from the past. So life food agrarianism involves these kind of foods that actually give back to the soil, as opposed to robbing nitrogen and things like this from the soil. Actually helps with the beneficial bacteria colonies and things like this within the soil to replenish and actually rejuvenate the soil. Also, it's about recanopying the earth, reflorification of the earth, and basically everything that works in harmony with nature and with the earth and with ourselves as well. And so that's life food agrarianism and life food nutrition. So life food nutrition also, just a kind of brief definition of that would be food that we've biologically evolved to be able to handle, food that you can still find some semblance of in nature. It would be in its natural state, which meaning organic and uncooked, and it's also got its life force intact, and so it's also prepared in a way that's easy to digest. And it basically, like I said, is fruits as well as nuts and seeds and things, and also seaweeds, things that we've eaten in the past, as we had kind of like a semi-aquatic existence for a period of time as well as the human evolution. So we've evolved to be able to handle seaweeds as well, some fermented foods and things like this. So also, that's life food, cell rejuvenation and colloidal biology. So cell rejuvenation is basically how to re-optimize your bioterrain, re-establish the intestinal garden that we're wrapped around. The insight, as I was saying, of blood formation and pleomorphism and colloidal biology. So basically it's about upstream cleaning and a way to actually turn the tap on at the top of the waterfall to actually get things flowing again in the body, to restore biobalance. Because even if you brought in live food and the perfect kind of food as medicine, it might, other than really have the effect that it could, if we completely brought ourselves back into balance after having possibly in the past consumed new toxin, meaning toxic nutrition that was brought in, as all deficiency actually comes from what's been brought in rather than what hasn't been brought in, as the mainstream paradigm paralysis might have us believe. And so this insight basically is a program, cell rejuvenation, where it begins with the life food nutritional fasting, and we can go into this more in depth in another video, but basically it's about restoring your bioterrain, which involves primarily bringing back the electrical functioning of the system, bringing back the right pH, acid-alkaline balance, having enough spare electrons, and so yeah, electrical conductivity and this kind of thing, bringing all this back into balance through sequentially clearing out the system from the top down which is called upstream cleaning. So this is a way that you can actually get your gut flora to produce for your own self, 26 grams of protein a day, all amino acids and essential fatty acids and vitamins and minerals and hormones and enzymes and coenzymes and all that's required for life. We can actually produce in our own intestinal garden if we learn how to actually maintain this and rebalance and restore this garden that we're wrapped around. So that's cell rejuvenation and colloidal biology, life, food, nutrition, which basically is part of this overall path. Another part of this is gender egalitarianism, which is the teaching of, which we'll go into as well, basically the gender roles that have been placed on people as part of the overall conditioning and how this has affected everything. So we've got economic egalitarianism, life, food agrarianism, life, house, sustainable community, which is basically a community that's incorporating all of these things. Cell rejuvenation, which is life, food, nutrition, as well as cleansing and colloidal biology. Gender egalitarianism, also our ancient past, teachings about what's truly happened from records kept from natives and just what's been looked at forensically to actually observe and clear away all of the deception and fraud of the past kind of story that's been put on everybody as a hypnosis. And to actually find out the truth, find the truth of where we came from, all the way back to, 5 epochs ago, 5 suns ago, back to the time of Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis, and what happened here, and to do with planetary alignments and how this has affected everything, and calamities, and the true dating of the Earth, and all of these kinds of things. And then also eye awareness and whole brain functioning, which you could say eye awareness is kind of like the Toltec, which also goes back to the Atlantean tradition of enlightenment or eye awareness. So this is about clearing away all the conditioning and just coming back to what's natural, which is I am as eye awareness, beyond perception. And so whole brain functioning is basically how to identify all of those patterns and conditions and actually clear away what's other than beneficial or natural and just be left with empty fullness as I am. And it's basically verbal and non-verbal patterns that allow us to remain in the whole of ourselves, which we'll go into this as well. And this is actually where neuro-linguistic programming and these kind of things actually stemmed from. Whereas whole brain functioning has the largest taxonomy of our senses on the earth and so much more comprehensive and in-depth than anything else that I think you would be able to find on the earth today. And so yeah, this is just a brief introduction. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode or in person. Aho!